here today at JA World with Sheriff Tony. Came out to see the kids, talk to them about careers in law enforcement, the importance of financial literacy in the BSO storefront. And so Sheriff Tony, I was just talking with him, you were talking in there about how the job is not difficult because you love it.
Absolutely.
But yes, you deal with difficult situations. Tell us, you've been in the job now for a little while. Tell us what's the best thing about the job?
Well, look, I've been in this role now for over a year as the sheriff, leading up the entire sheriff's office for 5,700 employees. We're reaching across 1,300 square miles. We're impacting every part of the entire community. So I take on an approach of this is a service mindset. You know, from my first year as a police officer, almost 15 years ago, it was about focusing on the service and giving back to the community. Now I'm in the administrative role, leading up the entire organization, but the principle behind me signing up hasn't changed. It's still focused on providing the best level of service. So when I walked into this organization and accepted command, it was my goal to spread that message and reinstitute that mindset to everyone that works under me so that we never feel like we're doing a job. I think over time, when you're in this organization, you're dealing with a lot of bad things in the community, you become a little bit cynical because you're dealing with the worst, but the majority, 99.9% of our residents in our community are people who are happy, who are doing things that are positive. And so I try to go back and keep the optimism behind, look, what we do is noble, what we do impacts a lot of people's lives on a daily basis, and we're leaders in this community. Today, talking to all these kids, you can see it on their face. I'm sure there has been numerous people reputable in their own rights and their own professions, but when these young kids see us in uniform, there's an automatic response where they look at us with admiration, as heroes, as people that they can rely on. So if you focus on that the service that we're putting out impacts not only our current generation, but the generation to follow, it makes the job a heck of a lot easier.
Yeah, focus on the positive
That's right.
rather than the challenges.
Absolutely.
And then that's the why. I always call it the why.
If you
why
know your why, we're on
do?
the same page.
Yeah,
if you know your why, you can endure anything.
Exactly.
I've spread that, and my commander's in the background, Major Med, is shaking his head because he heard me say that 1,000 times over. So when it's difficult, know your why.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your why will get you through just about anything.
Today you touched on a couple of times talking about careers and
Yes.
the program, the young program for cadets and building that pipeline, right,
Correct.
for the law enforcement industry, and not just in law enforcement positions, but across the board. Talk a little about your efforts on that.
Yeah, so coming into the organization, we had a huge deficit in personnel at the sworn law enforcement role, and it was really a byproduct of failed recruiting practices and policies and putting forth a recruitment bureau. So we built that out last year, and we've seen our numbers go from roughly 150 vacancies in law enforcement, which is the equivalent to an entire police force. We cut that number down to roughly half, and for the first time in the agency's history, we're going to be on track to be full staff. But now we have to start looking at succession, attrition rates. How do we bring in more young people, make it more attractive to them to join this profession? And so with your organization, when we talked today, my mindset was, well, we have a very young group of kids that we're exposing to the positive side of the public safety profession. How can we transition from when they're done here and they're finishing up and they're going into high school, what's next? Well, we have a Police Explorer program as well as a Fire Cadet program. Well, that's our target focal point, is to bring in young people in that high school bracket, start to expose them more in the professional side of the agency, and then transition them into being full-time employees. That's a very good return on our investment, where we're taking someone from a young age, perhaps in a better partnership or expanded partnership with your organization, transition them into our Police Explorer program. They've had much exposure now for 6 years, 7 years, and now they're coming into the professional world where we're able to hire them. Another thing that we're looking at doing is making sure we not just keep them in the organization, but we expand their ability to enhance their professionalism, meaning getting rank and opportunities and promotions. And so we're looking at ways to help fund our employees coming in with more educational opportunities to go to college. In addition to that, what can we do to give them like scholarship opportunities and things of that nature? So we're really changing the scope on it, and I think much of it's because of my experiences. I've been an adjunct college professor for about 14 years now. I love training, I love teaching. I built my own company behind that at one point. So now I see an opportunity to kind of take all my expertise and put it into the agency.
And talking about training, you have an amazing training
Yes, we broke ground this past December. We're building a $30 million training center. It'll be the top training center here in the state. Our goal is to lead the way for all of Broward County public entities and expand their training as well. We have the capability now. It's been 105 years to build a training center. It's the first time, and I'm excited to see how this thing rolls out in the next few months. Yes.
So I mentioned we have a podcast video show called Recipe for Success, and we talk about the ingredients. And just in your conversation in the last couple of minutes, you've already mentioned some of them. What is the main ingredient to your success?
I think having the ability, everything's created twice in this world. First is created in the mind, and then you have to put those dreams and concepts into work and bring it into fruition. Throughout that conceptual idea of who you are, what you want to be, you have a big vacancy in between. And most people are not able to persevere through all those struggles and battles and disappointments and failures and never fulfill their dreams. I think my success has been directly associated with my ability to keep moving forward, to persevere through those difficult times. I mean, I share this openly. There was times where I was homeless and I didn't have a chance in an apartment with no utilities, but hey, I found a camera. I didn't have anything to eat, so I saved up enough money. I went to ramen noodles. Ramen noodles ran out, I went to peanut butter and jelly, but I never found an excuse to give up. But perseverance is something else, and if you know your why, back to our earlier statement, then you can endure just about anything. And that's
So know your why, focus on the positive, focus on the goal, where you want to go once you have your vision, right, and never give up.
That's right.
Awesome ingredients to success.
And don't restrict yourself on, don't count the cost, right? We count the cost too often, right? Man, I gotta work 8 hours. I gotta spend another, 6 months in the academy. Stop counting the cost. If you count the cost, it might just be too expensive. Just get it done.
And look at what the return, right, is, and the glory and the achievement and the accomplishment is going to be at the end. Well, I can't thank you enough for being here. Thank you for your vision. Thank you for your leadership. I love what you're doing. I love your focus on our young people and making sure that they are ready. The research shows they only know 5 to 8 jobs, and I can tell you that law enforcement is probably not one of them unless they have someone in their family who's been in law enforcement. So thank you for investing in every single one of our Broward County students, right?
Absolutely.
So we'll find ways to deepen that, I'm sure.
Love it.
So thank you for being here. Thank you for your support, and we love having you. And just keep going.
We're with you.
Done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure being here.
Let's keep cooking.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what we say on Recipe for Success.
Keep cooking. I like